once again, coming as a self-proclaimed slut, this feels really fun and exciting to learn. That was the only place I felt good at something. Being good in bed, being attractive, it felt like something that I was good at and made me wanted in a space which I didn't feel for a lot of my life. I had my first threesome when I was 13 years old. It was really fun and hot and beautiful. And then years later, I had another one with this really sweet photography couple in Brooklyn. And you know, spread throughout my life, I've had group sex with people that was really fun and excited me and felt like this juicy buildup of a thing that I wanted to lean into.
Mama, I think I married a home.
My lions, props goes out to this woman who was willing to be honest about her past. Enjoy the show.
When I was 12 years old, my nudes got sent around to the entire school, including to my brother, who was obviously upset and disgusted, and it still makes me cringe to this day. My middle school bullies regularly tried to fight me and were suspended for hate speech on my Facebook wall. One of my nicknames was Asian Whore, and the other one Ho Tomi. So I was the school slut. Boys would make up stories about me that everyone would just believe. So any boy who wanted to prove that he was a man would just make up a story about me, and then everyone would be like, oh yeah, that checks out. And I was the person that no one wanted to be friends with because my reputation preceded me and they would get defamed by association. Every single school had a school slut, and it is a really interesting role and archetype to play at such a young age, and one that I've been unpacking for a very long time. My first experiences with my body were so pure and loving, and I just felt such an excitement to welcome pleasure into my physical form. My first experiences relating to my body were just so wonderful and really felt like they were just between me and God, and the rapture, the curiosity, the purity, and the pleasure, all of that felt so wrapped into one. And then I left the safety of my bedroom wearing scantily clad outfits, and all of that shifted so quickly. Unlearning having obligational sex, unlearning even just dressing for the male gaze, finding validation from how much male attention I was getting, that took me so many years. And living in a patriarchal society, I am still breathing that air in. It's still something that I'm working through, but I can say that when I get dressed in the morning, I'm just excited to wear things that make me feel good in my body for me. And we're gonna get into the other stuff, but that's just sort of the context. When you don't grow up with a sense of self-worth rooted in your character, the value that you bring to your family, or are just unsure of your place in the world, it is so much easier to believe other people's projections of you and internalize them. It is so easy to go to unfulfilling sources for that sense of validation and love, not realizing that you can get love, respect, and togetherness from a place that has nothing to do with your body or appearance. And it took me so long to realize this. That was the only place I felt good at something. Being good in bed, being attractive, it felt like something that I was good at and made me wanted in a space which I didn't feel for a lot of my life. So having low self-worth is no joke.
My lions, this woman just told you who she is. Are you going to believe her, or do you think you can change her? This woman is obviously proud of her past, starting her sexual experience at only 12 years old. See, the entire school knew about her reputation. She is very proud of these accomplishments. Society used to shun women like these because being a slut doesn't protect family legacy, paternity certainty, and the social order. Today, with birth control and social media, a woman like this can become a millionaire and become extremely popular. Do you want to save her, my lions? Do you?
I have had several relationships that were open or non-monogamous, and the reason that this relationship style really worked for me was because, well, I saw my parents have a really terrible and messy relationship, and the statistics of most marriages ending in divorce led me to feel that objectively this monogamy partner style isn't working. It causes so much trauma for children, and adults stay together when they literally loathe each other, and it prevents them from living life. So let's just be a little bit more honest. This isn't a model that is going to work for everyone. And my first boyfriend in high school happened to cheat on me a lot with, I was going to use quotations, but he cheated on me by constantly sexting other people, and I would just find so many explicit photos and messages on his phone from our mutual friends and things like that. And I just remember feeling that I really didn't care that he was engaging with other people in this sexual way. I just wanted to know about it. I just didn't want him to lie about it. And I opened up that conversation with him like, this is fine, but you can just communicate with me about this. And obviously that relationship didn't end well and communication did not happen. We were literally in high school, but it just made me feel like I actually think that this is an interesting approach. Like, I don't take it that personally if my partner is physically connecting with someone, if they're getting a desire fulfilled by someone, as long as my partner and I have a foundation of strong emotional stability and support and, just spiritual intimacy. For me, that is actually really hard to find. It's very easy to be physically intimate with people, but to be spiritually naked, to be spiritually intimate, that is really rare and precious, and also something that just takes time to build.
She's right about how monogamy feels broken, how marriages fail, and how her first boyfriend cheated and resulted in her being open to the idea of open relationships. Now, brethren, she didn't mind the cheating, she just wanted honesty, but they broke up anyway. What she doesn't realize is that her human nature resulted in her being jealous and insecure. No matter how much she wanted an open relationship, we are wired as human beings to want security, loyalty, and exclusivity.
That was a 3-year relationship, and I got out of a about 4-year relationship. It became this thing where I started to realize that I was using open relationships as a crutch for my avoidance. Someone asking more of me, someone wanting to plan a future with me. I started to realize that I wanted all those things, but it really terrified me. Even just the idea of getting married alone terrifies me because of how many bad relationships I've seen in my life, bad marriages specifically, and I'm finding the middle ground where I still don't fully believe in creating a contract with the law that I'm going to be with someone. I would rather have a soul contract with someone where I devote to them, and I'm really excited to explore devoting and monogamy in this way where I move through that intense avoidance and just communicate like when I feel overwhelmed. The very important questions to continue asking yourself throughout an open relationship is this serving our relationship? Is this evolving us for the better? Is it bringing us closer or further apart? It is a lot of communication. It is a lot of revisiting the structure, the dynamic, fleshing out kinks. And because it's not just this set way of being like monogamy, you don't know what your objective is every single day. There are different scenarios that you may not have discussed that come up, and it does take a lot of emotional maturity. I think that you should not enter an open relationship if you don't feel comfortable admitting that you're jealous to your partner, if you are just doing it to please them, if it doesn't feel like something that excites you, that you'll also benefit from, if it doesn't feel like it's furthering the plot of your shared intimacy together, then you should just be single. And that's kind of what I came to realize as well, is that, in the desire to explore my queerness, that's actually a journey that I have to take on my own, and that I shouldn't be in a relationship with a cis man when I'm trying to explore my queerness. You don't want to let go of someone who's so comfortable and a partner that you've loved, but you also feel like it's too soon to know if you want to marry that person, and you need time to be single out in the world. You want to secure this beautiful relationship that you've been forging, but also clear any doubts that you have in your head. And I feel like this does work for some people when they open up but still stay together as primary partners, and then they get the clarity that they needed. But it might just be better to fully lean into that curiosity and break up and come together if it's meant to be. And honestly, being slightly avoidant in an open relationship is also just not healthy, and I really realized that after I got out of my last one, and I just felt so, and still do feel so, committed to honoring the energy of love and not creating any more hurt, if possible, from this tendency to want to be so independent and this fear of being needed and needing people as any sort of primary attachment. That terrifies me.
And there you have it. She uses open relationship as a shield, a defense mechanism. She wants connection with a man, but not the responsibility that comes with that connection. She wants love, but without the sacrifice, and she wants to explore many men and still be chosen by you, Malayans. The woman wanted the whole world without any consequences for her actions. This is why women love independence. You hear them girls talking about, I'm independent and I don't need a man. This is why they love that. Because the moment she depends on a man, she now loses the freedom to do whatever she wants whenever it's convenient. And this is the big issue we have today in this modern society. Now, brethren, women were sold a lie that she can do whatever she wants with whomever she wants, however she wants, and still find the prince of her dreams. See, basically, these modern women wanted the advantages of tradition, but the freedom of a party girl. See, she wanted to be a wife with single girl options. The damn foolishness.
So for me right now, I'm saying I'm in a season of celibacy. I'm not really interested in having any sexual projections at me or any sexual ties that I'm not consenting to. I am not open or available to having sex at all. That's where I'm at. And even with men who are eyeing me in the gym or trying to corner me and just talk to me and hit on me, I am so clear, like, hey, actually, I'm not interested in any flirtations or romantic energy or especially a sexual gaze projected at me right now. That's where I'm at. If you want to be my friend, I could be open to that if it feels natural, but I'm not interested in anything else, and I need to be really clear about that. I'm so happy that I am able to communicate these words without any fear at this point in my life, but I genuinely feel like sex is sometimes the easiest thing you can do with people, and there are so many other fulfilling aspects of connection that you can find even in friendship. Once again, coming as a self-proclaimed slut, this feels really fun and exciting to learn. It makes sex so much better, in fact, when you have experienced other forms of intimacy together and wait to indulge in the physical act, because there's a lot less shying away. You're familiar with each other's walls, maybe even insecurities, and it is a completely different context.
My lions, after all those years of being with all those men, she is now celibate. To her, this is a blessing. You cannot respect a woman like this, because having sex for her and having a man comes very easy. What does she stand for, brethren? What does she really stand for? See? How is she now expecting to become loyal to a man, submitting to a man, and doing what it takes to build a family? She has zero experience in this area. She's been floating around from men to men. She can't do any of this stuff. Sex has lost its meaning for her a long time ago, and now she is burned out. The thrill is now gone, and now she is wanting what she never wanted before. A prince. After all the baggage, after the mileage that she has ran upon that body of hers.
And I'm excited to explore that right now in my life without the physical aspect. So I guess I just wanted to make this video as sort of a checkpoint of where I'm at on the continuum of knowing my body, understanding my sexual drive and where I'm moving from in the world, and also to say that love is an energy to be respected, and people's hearts are so delicate. We have the opportunity to be positive forces in the world, all through healing ourselves and reparenting ourselves and taking time to integrate lessons and not move from chaotic places. And I just really encourage that. I'm really inspired by that right now. Locking into your own accountability and healing and moving from a complete place of clarity. It is almost your duty for other people to grow into yourself, to feel confident in your voice, to know who you are. But those are my thoughts right now. If you have any recent ponderings, things that you're learning about celibacy, non-monogamy, I would love to know. I would love to read through the comments and just see where you're at. Where's your checkpoint? Thank you so much for having this moment of presence with me, and I hope to see you in a video soon.
Modern women want freedom without any judgment at all. Today, she wants celibacy. Tomorrow, she may want to go back into an open relationship again. And no one should question this, see? No man, nobody should question this. My lions, let's respect this woman's honesty. But you can't build with a lady like this. That is, if you choose to wife up a woman who says that sex is easy for her, a woman who lives by whatever feels good in the moment, you deserve all the problems that comes along with her. Hold tight. Gone again.